Hello and welcome to our Tophet Alliance update for the month of May. Yes, it's May already. Next weekend is Mother's Day. Farmers are getting out in the field, getting ready for planting. The weather is steadily getting warmer. So that's all good. Just 2 months left in the school season. And we're all looking forward to a bit of a break over the summer and cheering for things to be better in the fall. In the meantime, this third wave has not yet eased, so we continue to live with precautions and with restrictions. Last Sunday, I was so pleased to see the way people were moving outside to visit following our church services. So thank you so much for your cooperation and just being able to follow all those guidelines and restrictions that we have as we gather in person. If the third wave doesn't ease soon, it could be that things change again and restrictions actually prohibit us from gathering in person to worship. I hope that doesn't happen. But in the meantime, we'll continue to gather, and so we provided the links so you can register for the 9:30 or 11 a.m. service. And of course, you can follow on YouTube, the live stream, or any time after that as the messages remain up on YouTube following. I want to give you a little bit of an update from a Board of Elders meeting that we had this past Monday evening. At each board meeting, we spend time in praying for the needs of our congregation, and we did that at this meeting as well. This year, there's 4 things that we want to give attention to every meeting. One is staffing. Another is connecting and reconnecting. A third is digital mission. And finally, the whole idea of reopening when the time comes for that, ideas and strategies for that. Related to digital mission, the Elders Board is reading and studying a book called Age of Kings, Pursuing God's Heart in a Social Media World. It's written by one of our Alliance pastors, Bryce Ashland Mayo. And as far as staffing, we have started actively recruiting for the role of associate pastor. We know that recruiting, while gathering restrictions are in place, is going to present some challenges. But many ministry opportunities will open up once restrictions are lifted, and our desire is to have a new staff person in place to assist with both new and renewed ministries in the fall. And as well, when looking at the whole church, the financial picture, it is about on track, is on par with how things were last year at this time. So that's good news. This coming weekend, we're concluding a series about Peter, a series called I Declare, Foundations of Following. This week, try to imagine what it would be like to be in a communion service led by the Apostle Peter. Over the past weeks, we've explored pivotal events in Peter's discipleship journey. One of those was when he declared to Jesus, "You are the Christ, the Son of the living God." And in that memorable afternoon, he was convinced that Jesus was the promised Messiah, and he was also rebuked by Jesus for having only human concerns and not grasping how the Messiah would actually accomplish salvation. Over the next several decades, Peter's understanding grew far beyond human concerns. He led thousands to place their faith in Jesus. I'm sure there were times he smiled as he looked back on those earlier years and saw how naive he was. And there were other times when he marveled at how privileged he was to be part of what God was doing through Jesus and through the church. At one point, he writes, "Praise be to the God and Father of our Lord Jesus Christ. In his great mercy, he has given us new birth into a living hope through the resurrection of Jesus Christ from the dead." A few verses later, he says, "Even angels long to look into these things." The passage goes on, and it contrasts human concerns, those things which had once dominated his thinking. It contrasts those with the incredible salvation that we have through Jesus. Over the years, as a leader of the early church, I'm sure that Peter led the early church in celebrating the Lord's Supper many, many times, hundreds, thousands of times maybe. And I wonder how often the words he repeated as he led the church in celebrating communion, I wonder if some of those words became the text of the epistle of 1 Peter. Join us this weekend in person at 9:30 or 11 a.m., or join the live stream at 9:30 or any time following that, and we'll participate together in a communion service and explore Peter's description of salvation. If you can't come on Sunday, watch the live stream. Thanks so much for joining this update. Take care, and God bless.